right, fine. I'll be a gracious host. How you doing?
Little Mermaid is the scariest Disney movie by far, though.
Why the hell is Ace Blade in your Kickstarter?
Controversial today. We're gonna get controversial today with our special guest.
My proudest moment is this interview. Being able to talk to you two guys.
All right, let's get into it. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Taurus Comics, in collaboration with Fourth Wall Productions, proudly brings to you the Four Tales podcast. I am your host, Kyron Silva from Taurus Comics. Across the way is the great novelist of Ace Blade, Danny J. Quick. And together we are your two award-winning blurred comic creators here to help you find your next comic. Now, we are live on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, and a host of other programs. So if you are listening or watching us live, thank you for your support. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up, like and subscribe, share, host, comment, whatever you do to interact with our platform to help us reach new followers. God, that's a mouthful. What's up, man?
Hey, that was good, though.
Was
you
good?
did it all in 45 seconds.
I'm trying to get into things. We got a big host. We got a big guest today.
Major.
Yeah.
But I think until StarCore comes out, you should introduce yourself as Kyron Silva, the hardcore co-creator of of StarCore.
Wow. Okay. Should I get like a wrestling belt? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Absolutely.
I'll consider that. Maybe. Especially if the Kickstarter does well, then I'll definitely get a belt that says StarCore on it with the symbol on it. I've never actually had a championship belt before. Even though I've wrestled, I never won a belt. I did an event for the championship belt and it got beat in like 30 seconds. But dude was like 300 pounds.
Don't worry about it. Yeah.
All right. Well, on today's show, we have an amazing artist and creator, writer. His name is Ray Anthony Height. But before we bring him on, we need to discuss something. And this was something that popped up on my timeline on TikTok and Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, and it was everywhere. And if you don't watch our live stream, our audience, and you're just listening to our podcast, you're really going to miss out on this because you need to see the visual of this. But I'm going to show you what kept appearing everywhere for me this week. And I need you, Danny J. Quick, to explain what this is that we are about to watch.
Ooh, prepare to be sick of me. Prepare right now to be sick of me.
This dude.
Wait, that's not all. That is not all. Let me find the other one here. Where is that second one?
Terrible.
Because no, what the heck? No.
There have been several of them.
Let me give y'all a quick.
It disappeared. All right. I'm not going to waste any more time. Explain to our viewers what it was that we were looking at.
Well, if you don't know, now you know. Fourth Wall Productions is opening a home base of sorts. We're just opening up a small spot here in Burlington, North Carolina, where people can come and buy our comics, but also come play video games with us and be part of our content creation. So we are going to be shooting more videos here. We're going to be doing more content creation. And then on top of that, we're going to be selling our books and selling our comics and that good stuff. So, yeah.
All right. Wait, hold on. I got the other video queued up. 1 second here.
Let me give y'all a quick preview of the shop.
So you come in and bam, we got our pops up there on the corner and our comics on that side. And this is where all the magic will happen. Right now, I'm trying to build a table to store shirts and comics.
Let me give y'all a quick preview of it.
So I got to know how long, because you and I actually talked about that for a couple months ago, but how long was that in your brain before you decided I'm going to go through and do this?
In my brain, probably about over a year in my brain. But it's crazy because as soon as I said the word, started saying the words to the people, stuff started happening. So, we're just taking the leap, man, trying to do something new. You hear people keep coming in. That's where I'm at right now. People keep coming in and out of the door. So
busy,
that's why the thing keeps going on.
You busy. No, that's good. No, that's good. I mean,
Already.
I wish you much. I wish you as much success as possible, and because I know you're not one of the first people to do this. There's actually a creator here in Sacramento. His name is Brenton Sands. He's actually
Yeah.
created his own shop. So this is it's starting to become a trend, man. It's starting to become a trend.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea, but just trying to build a little community around comics. But speaking of that, our guest has been doing that for years, man. I've been following our guest
Years.
for years and years, man. With not just his own projects, but working with the big names. So
Yep.
I'm happy to have him on, man.
All right, and who Danny is talking about is Ray Anthony Hyde. He is the artist creator of Midnight. He's also worked on books for Moon Girl and I don't know why I can't talk right now. Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, Superb, Grim Fairy Tales, and so many more. So let's just bring the man on, and we can gush over all his amazing work.
Ray
you guys
Anthony
doing? What's going on,
Hyde
sir?
in the building.
Hey.
How are you?
Good. It's fine. Saturday morning.
It is. Thank you for joining us, by the way, and
Oh,
thank
my
you,
pleasure.
Danny, for actually allowing us to move this time instead of forcing us to,
Thank you,
as
Danny.
West Coast people, to be up at 7:00 in the morning
Listen,
trying to
that was
talk.
one of
but-
my details in the contract that the normal time for the show has to be 7 a.m. for Kyron. So he has to get up early on a Saturday morning so that we can do this show.
Do you know how
but
horrible it is to
other
wake
than
up?
that, I'm not.
I have to set an alarm for 6 a.m. every Saturday to do this. I mean,
Yeah, man. I'm just
You
trying
know,
to get you up and
yeah.
motivated. That's all.
Wow. Well, that's what happens. You deal with East Coast folks. You got to get up early.
facts.
Yeah,
Facts.
that's it. But it's
I need
worth
to
it,
find
right?
more West Coast. I need to find more West Coast creators to actually talk with.
Well, you know what? You get what you can, because East Coast creators, they know their stuff. They're fun to talk to. Not to say the West Coast aren't, but you know what you get when you deal with West Coast creators. So,
It sounds like you about to start some controversy here.
no, hey, I'm from the West Coast. We like to do things a certain way.
I mean, I will say, all of the creators that I know on the West Coast are great, but the first interview that we did that did it get canceled or did we get ghosted, Kyron?
We got ghosted.
I don't know what happened, but
We
the
got
first
ghosted.
time we got ghosted was one of the.
No, okay, let's. Every time it's been a ghosted person, it's been from the West Coast. It's been at least 3 creators that ghosted us, and I'm like, all
What
right.
did I tell you? I said, you know what you're gonna get, right?
But no, we have
that's-
had some West Coast creators on there, so we can't say it's
Yeah,
all the people.
We've
There's-
had-
So, Karen,
we've had
what's
some
the
drama.
ratio?
It's about 50% ghost us for West Coast right now.
It's about 50.
So, if this was a grade, that's an F. That's a solid F.
That's true. That's very true. Mr. Hype, man, we're so happy to have you on. I think the first thing of yours that I saw was Midnight Tiger. I want to say I want to back one of those early campaigns of Midnight Tiger, but I've been following you and your art ever since then. I try to share, and I actually did some fan. I was looking back through my my art because I actually did some fan art of Midnight Tiger and Ace Blade together.
Yeah.
In 2014 or something like that. Like it was
That's
way
when it
back.
came out.
Yeah. So that was it's just inspiring to see creators do that, and this
Danny,
is
was it on DeviantArt?
I think it was on DeviantArt actually. Yeah. So
Wait, are you saying you saw his fan art on?
I see all the fan art.
Oh, okay.
I see all of it. Let me tell you, you haven't lived until you get fan art from your co-creation, your IPs, right?
Yes.
Like
Love it.
the next step is cosplay, right?
Mhm.
Cats start cosplaying your characters. You're like, I made it. I
Yep.
made it.
I made it. Yeah, exactly.
That's it.
That is the first event I ever did was a free comic book day event, and one of the creators that sat next to me, she had been doing this a couple years earlier than I did, and while we were there, somebody came up and cosplayed as her characters, and this was the first time she had seen anybody cosplay her characters, and she just freaked out, man.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting on that day for anybody. I mean, if anybody wants to, dress up as Ruby from Planet Oz or Saba Lightning Wielder, please feel free to.
I was thinking about dressing up as Ruby, but
You would look good in them tights, man. With the bun and everything, yeah, you good.
Nice.
I got to lose a couple pounds first, and then I'll try to
No,
squeeze it.
Hey, no, you don't.
Keep them curves.
Just do it. Just do it. I love it.
So, as far as your work, because since Danny brought up Midnight Tiger, how did that come about? Like, was that just an idea you had, and you're like, I'm just going to do this one day, or where did that come from?
Okay, so I was I'm gonna give a way back history. So I was working with another creator, image creator, and we were trying to bat around some ideas on launching a book at Image together years and years ago, and then the idea, let's call it proto Midnight Tiger, came up. But who, the writer's a super good friend of mine. I won't say his name because he's like, it's yours. You take it and you do whatever you want to do with it. So I mean, it is mine, but the initial seed was planted back in, God, I can't remember. It was a long years ago. So before Midnight Tiger even hit in 2014, it was already something that was there. And then by the time I completely took it over, it is definitely different than what it was when we first discussed it. So, and then now it's its own thing. It's and what I wanted to do, which is the first thing that was different from the initial, was to bring it to a place that was familiar to me. And I'm from Compton, so I grew up in Compton, and as a blurred, growing up there, you're looking at all this going on. And I grew up, 80s and 90s, so it was like gang wars, drugs, stuff like that. And when you're reading comics, but you look outside, and this is it, where the practice is you hear shots and you hit the floor, casually, right? And you can definitely distinguish the difference between a fireworks and a 9, AK. You could definitely know the difference, and you haven't set foot on a battleground. You know what I mean? So you already know, but it is what it is. And so I was like, that's this world, the world I currently live in, could use superheroes, and it's superheroes who relate to the situation that's going on just in the neighborhood. Like I mean, even though Spider-Man is a part of New York, it's Brooklyn and the Bronx, these little different boroughs and stuff like that, different cities, that he is the neighborhood guy,
Yeah.
So and everybody knows him. That this cat, when you see him, he's not like Captain America, where this is somebody who, if you see him, it's like the president is coming to your city, right? He's so off the radar. But with Spider-Man, if you're from Brooklyn or wherever you're from, Queens, you're kind of like, oh, we know this dude. Okay, he's here. He's gonna handle it. And you can actually talk back. Like, do you think you could talk back to Captain America? Like, yo, you should have been here 5 minutes ago, man. Like, you just glad he showed up, right? But people want to argue, like, I just got your purse back, lady. Like, yeah, but you know what? He dumped it out. So you could have did a little bit better. Like, you're critiquing me on saving your life. It's that kind of thing that's different, And I thought that's what we needed for, us as Black folks in Compton. We needed somebody to look up to in that way, to know that this dude is for us, and he's here to help us. So.
I love it. Of course, I gotta ask. I didn't know that you were from Compton, so I gotta ask. Did you check out that Super Bowl halftime show?
I did. Let me tell you. My wife and I are sitting there watching the Super Bowl. Yes, my wife and I are checking out the Super Bowl performance. Let me tell you, they were basically on our block, like what you showed in the model that they had up there. So Tams 21, that was our Tams. Yeah. I lived around the corner. My wife lived right down the street, like literally, not like an eighth of a mile away. Like it was at the corner. So that was frequent place. I had posted on Twitter. I was like, I remember when cheeseburger special was $2.50 at Tams. So, I found out, like, I asked when I was a kid, one of the people that worked at Tams, I was like, who is Tam? Right? Where is Tam? It's like, I don't know. I think he's some Greek guy. Like the guy he's like, he is the person who started it. And of course, they're all over in our area. They're all over, again, that's number 21. So, and so much, that's Rosecrans and Central, for y'all don't know. Okay. Rosecrans and Central is a hot spot. It is the spot, right? It's, so that's Compton. That's the heart of Compton. So anyway, it was incredible to see. I felt seen. And then when they did the aerial shot, because they kept doing it, looking down, I was like, oh man, that's a map of the city.
Mhm.
They're
I know this
representing.
street. Exactly. So it was really cool, and it was like emotional for us watching it, to see us not just represent it, but people were rallying. Like, it was like it was
Mhm.
huge.
Mhm.
It was huge, and people were down with it. And it's a lot of us, that grew up in Compton who are in entertainment.
Yeah.
I want to say Ava DuVernay is from Compton, right? So,
Yeah.
so
Serena and
yeah.
Venus.
Yep.
Yeah.
Speaking of them, the place where they played tennis as kids was right down the street from me.
Wow.
Also,
You were
right?
in the middle of everything.
See, that's
Yep.
Compton is just it's just a garden for talent.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it
I
kept
love it.
you for us. So that's the other thing about Midnight Tiger. The thing my cousin would say, and I say this on damn near every interview, but I think it's worth noting every time, is that he would say that comic books saved our lives.
Yeah.
Because we were inside, and for the most part, for me, I could draw. And there was something about the respect of an artist from Cats in the Hood, like, oh, don't mess with Ray. He's cool. Like, he can draw, this cat. And then you're just cool with everybody, right?
Yeah.
So it was one of those things where if it's not tennis, if it's not, whatever it is that you're into, people do respect that. They do respect people who look like they can get out of this situation with their talents and things that they're born with. So
Nice. I guess I got to ask, and since we were talking about music, who's your favorite West Coast rapper?
don't get that. I can't put that on there.
Oh.
No, no. Well, I'll tell you honestly, it's a lot. It's hard to choose from. It's hard to.
Okay.
I mean, because I went to Compton High School, so it's cats that I knew that was over there. It's I mean, Kendrick right now, he's representing us very, very well.
Mhm.
You would drop another album, man. I've been waiting years, man. Come on.
He's working on multimedia stuff. Let the brother be.
Seriously.
He's doing something with God, who is that? It's a television producer with an animation or whatever.
I'm about to say 50 Cent because he's doing everything too.
So that's something that just dropped. 50. He ain't West Coast, but
Yeah, I know.
he all right. 50 good. I mean, he's on my playlist. So, but 50 is doing something with a friend of mine, very good friend of mine, Joe Illich, and Eric Alexander. Who
Yep.
I mean, these are people that I know.
Color Farm Media.
Yeah, exactly. So it's fantastic to see that. Christopher Priest, they're doing something with Zero, just dropped on Deadline,
Just like a couple days ago.
Yeah, it's a couple days ago. So it's big stuff. We're our voice now is being heard. And I think if you are a Black creator, this is the best time to make sure that you're producing your own IP, you're putting out there, getting in front of people, because now where there were corners of our community that wouldn't even see you if you were a person of color. Now it almost gets you in the door,
Mm-hmm.
almost gets you in the door because whatever it is, and I think Joe and I talked about this. I think David Walker and I talked about this, where, trend or not, you take this opportunity and you use it to the best of your ability to open more doors.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because people are like, oh, this is not authentic. They're just following the trend and blah, blah, blah. That's fine. But everything starts as a trend until it becomes a staple. And that's what we're trying to do, trying to make it a staple, so get it while it gets good.
Get that bag.
Look, everybody know that's too short.
We can't quote Too Short too much on here.
No. But getting while the getting is good.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's about as PG as it gets.
Yeah, exactly.
So growing up, I'm pretty sure in Compton, you probably did not have a lot of options to go to like comic events, things like that. 'Cause especially like in the 80s or 90s, there weren't really a lot out there outside of Los Angeles Comic Con, maybe.
Yeah, it was the Los Angeles Sci-Fi Con, which we frequented, and it was small, but it
Yeah.
was cool because it was cheap. You know, it wasn't like this crazy expensive stuff like San Diego or whatever. And it was like every month, every first or third of the month or something like that. We would go. Me and my friends would go like every time. That was the first place I tabled at.
So when you were growing up, who was the first comic creator that you met that you just geeked out on? Like you're like,
Oh.
oh,
That's a good question. Because I've met several, but one of the biggest was probably Dennis Cowan.
oh, okay.
Yeah, so I was tabling with a friend at the Los Angeles Sci-Fi Show. It's something I had done before, you know, and this cat comes up and he's looking at our stuff, and I think we had an ash can then, and you know, I had my friend Andre Dre, he was there, and then another friend, Matthew Humphreys, who is now the animation director of DuckTales. So
Oh wow.
yeah, that's happened a lot too. Where friends that I came up with have moved from comics and gotten to animation, and now they're directors or something. But,
So can Danny and I be your friend? I'm just saying.
look, that so
Some of that
okay.
good juju.
Well, maybe that's what it is. It's good energy. I mean, that's
It
the
is.
other thing, right? You need to associate yourself with people with similar energy and similar ambition.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
you will quickly find out who has it and who doesn't.
I think it also is like just like how when football coaches have that tree. I think also there is a creator tree where if you
Yeah.
have somebody who's very creative, you're going to associate around the same level or at least close to.
Yeah.
And if somebody sees you being creative, they're like, okay, that person, he's pretty close to us, probably just as creative. So let's bring him on also, or her on. I shouldn't just say him.
Well, it's like a magnetic pull. It's like, you know, planets, you know, you're all in the same solar system, and you got to pull, you know, and that's the other thing, right? Where I've never been in a situation where I felt like I needed to like give somebody the Heisman. You know what I mean? Like I've never felt that. If I felt if you got the juice, if you had the juice, if you had the drive, and we clicked, you're gonna come with me. You know, I'm gonna say, hey, I'm doing this thing. You want to hang out or be at the table or whatever, and that's really it. I mean, you just have to pull each other up. Sometimes motivate each other, but then I do have this policy, like, and I know this is probably harsh, but just because we look alike doesn't mean that I'm riding for you, because there's other
Right.
things, other factors besides this, right?
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, honestly, that's really what the deal is. So come with it. You come with it, come correct, and everything's cool.
Yeah.
All right, real
you gotta
quick,
have
Danny-
You gotta have the work ethic too.
Yeah, that's a big one for me.
I just wanted to share something that Danny just slid in my DM real quick for. So this
Oh,
is
yeah.
the Ace Blade Midnight
That's
Tiger
it.
matchup.
Man. But yeah,
What-
I just did a quick Facebook search. That's one good thing about Facebook. They don't forget anything. Facebook don't forget nothing.
Well,
No.
I don't know if that's good or bad, but
I know, right?
You know what? Like all things in life, it's both good and bad.
yeah.
this is
I
this
was
is actually
like,
pretty good, Danny. That's
Yeah,
actually really good, man.
Try a little something, but
Did you tag
back-
me?
I might have. I don't know. It was
Because
so long
I can't
ago.
even remember. Because sometimes I'll see a fan art and no one tags me. I just come across it. You know, so
Yeah.
yeah.
No, see, no, I didn't even tag you. See,
Send it
I
to
was-
me, and then I'll put it on my Instagram. Unless you want to do an update, but you know,
Revised
I'll put it on my-
version.
Make sure
You've
Exactly.
you've
Make sure
grown
you
in your
tell us
abilities.
2014. Because
Yeah, oh, for sure.
Midnight Tiger was featured on Heroary, right? On
Yes.
a couple of days ago. Yeah.
And it's been blowing up.
Today's actually Ace Blaze Day. I've been
Hey,
getting
okay.
I've
I'm
been
glad
getting
you
tagged and
told me.
stuff. Yeah, I've been getting tagged on all kinds of stuff this day. And I love stuff like that. Like just a whole, it's Black History Month, so they always feature black characters and black artists, and I love stuff like that. So it's great.
Same here, man. Like when I saw that, I was like, wow, and people don't understand. They think if you get to a certain level, you don't care about the things that they feel are below that level.
Mhm.
Mm-mm. Sorry.
Mhm.
If somebody recognizes you, it's all the same. You know, I mean, for the most
Yeah.
part, it's as far as my appreciation of it goes, I appreciate all of it. You know, I don't care who it is. So yeah, so that
Basically, if
was
you see
awesome.
us in the street, feel free to say hi.
Yes,
You know,
exactly.
socially distance, hi, but
right.
Right.
Well, I'm from Compton, so let me know why you.
like, Ray,
Yeah.
why you on my
'Cause
block?
that happened to me in LA. Somebody came at me, called my name. Me and my wife were walking, or maybe it was just me, but and somebody called my name, and from behind, like Ray, hi. And I was like trying to walk, right, just walking, because my instinct from Compton is called don't address that, just keep going.
Yeah, right.
So, but then when he said Midnight Tiger, I was like, oh, okay.
You put your guard. You brought the guard down about 60%.
Yep. And then so
it never goes 100% down. It's always at some level.
exactly. And let me tell you, you know, Pac had this thing. Every in LA got a little bit of thug in them. So I'm not thug or whatever, even growing up, you know. But let me tell you this: you raised in a certain area, you can't.
Always.
Yeah, there's something in you that will, you know the signs to look for, right?
Yeah.
So I used to tell people that, oh yeah, I'm the softest cat in Compton, which is I don't know, it's just being funny, but
that's still probably like a higher level than anybody here in North Carolina. Like,
thank you, Danny. So that's what I was saying. Like my level
levels.
2, my level 2 of Compton is like, in let's say Oklahoma is like 11.
right. You're the Oklahoma 11.
Well, no,
Right.
There's some cats in Oklahoma. Their level is probably pretty high because of other stuff.
Because of thank you. So it's just things that you see. But anyway.
Oh man.
All right. Well, this is probably our best time to break things up, and we'll do with Danny's quick takes. If you've never listened to our podcast before, Danny's quick takes is a semi-rapid fire situation where Danny will go and give you 5 questions, and you're going to have 45 seconds to answer those questions. There will be a timer to let you know how much time you have. But give me 1 second here.
He finally got to
picture
use
me,
it.
huh?
He finally got to use it. Kyrie,
Man, I've been up since I had time. I was able to put things together. I didn't have to wake up at like 5 o'clock in the morning. But,
Yeah, right.
Danny, you feeling that shade? It looked a little dark in that corner.
I'm fine with it. I'm all the way. It's in the afternoon now here in North Carolina, so the shade doesn't affect me here.
No. All right. Okay. I got I have family there, so I get it.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. All right, so 5 questions. We're gonna get your take on these hard-hitting questions. I've been stalking your social media all week to get some to get some good questions for you. So we'll just see what your answers are right off the top of your head. All right.
Okay.
So I know that you're like us all in the blurredom. You're a fan of Milestone Media and Static. I saw you did some fan art of Static when the books came back out in Midnight Tiger, and also live action films. So I want to know, what do you think is the better progression for indie characters? So if you have Midnight Tiger, would you rather your film your IP become an animated cartoon or a live action film?
Animated cartoon. Animated cartoon, because I can do exactly what I need to do. It can be all that it can be. There's the budget itself. It's easier, and I would love to see that dramatic. As a huge fan of anime, and I'm a huge fan of anime, I would love to see certain studios tackle it, like Studio Bones or Studio Mirror, who did Legend of Korra, even the DreamWorks crew.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if just Midnight Tiger with Joaquin DeSantos as part of it, and Phil Barraza doing character designs, and that'd be dope. So animated.
I love it. I love it. I agree. I do want. I know Kyron wants to get into some animation too. But I'll be happy with either one, to be honest with you, at this point.
Well, see, but you gave me, so then you gave me a choice. Would I shake a stick at, like, oh, it's going to be a big movie with a big, not a big budget, but let's say
right.
a few meal tickets. Yeah, I'll I'll take that, because then what's the next thing? Now I could do animation too to continue the story. Yeah.
And I did animation. I animated all my characters in like a 2-minute
did
series.
the trailer.
That's incredible. I got to see this.
Okay.
Because I'm peeping some of the stuff out, and I did a little research on you guys. So I was like, okay. I see.
See that the fence is
You
always
stalking,
up.
huh?
Yeah. Well, I have to know who I'm dealing with. What I tell you,
gotta know who you.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. All right. Question number 2, and we kind of touched on this a little bit. I know I figured Kyron was leading into this question, but which one to you is the bigger honor as a creator? Fan art of your character or a cosplay of your character?
Cosplay.
Yeah.
I mean, I love fan art. I want it to keep coming. I've seen some incredible pieces. I've been lucky to get some, even some of my super talented, superstar friends have dropped some cool stuff. And that's just a straight up honor. But to see someone take the time to put a costume together and truly become the character you create, come on. They're embodying the character. So cosplay.
I love it.
Hey, 10 seconds to spare.
I recently had BJ Armstrong. He did an Ace Blade cosplay, and I'll never forget it, man. Like Ace Blade is easy to cosplay. He just threw on some jeans and a purple thing, and I was like, okay, man, I love it. I'll take it, man. Just for somebody to put in the effort to do that, it's absolutely
So basically, your character is just a Sacramento Kings fan.
Yeah,
just wearing purple all the time.
Nice.
Yeah, pretty much. and then he puts on a mask because he's ashamed. That's why he does that.
But I have been ashamed of my king.
Wow.
Going on 16 years, we haven't hit the playoffs. I'm ashamed of the team.
Oh man, it's good to be a fan though. Okay, Question number 3. I saw I think it was a pillow that you had posted on your account that said, "Measure twice, cut once." This is something that my dad used to say to me all the time, and I build, I do furniture and stuff like that. So tell us what that means to you and why it's important. Why that's an important saying to you.
So you're gonna give me my feels. I'm not gonna cry, Roy. My dad said it to me, and he passed away October 2021 or 2020. Sorry. So that's why I have it on the pillow. My wife we got this new home, and she put it on the pillow. We were looking for quotes for family members that we wanted to honor that had passed, and that was a quote I heard from knee high to a grasshopper. You know what I mean? Like, and I live by that. Probably to a fault. Like I measure, I make sure things is right, so I don't have to go back and fix something because I did it too fast. So that's it. That's for my pops.
Absolutely. That's a great saying. Like I said, my dad said it to me too. He's been in construction, and now he has his own residential repair business, and he lives by that. So I did see my dad get electrocuted one time. So I don't know if he I don't know if he measured that time, but I did see him get electrocuted, and it's stuck in my head as one of the funniest.
Measure once.
Yeah.
Shock twice.
It's one of the funniest and most horrifying memories I have. But okay. So question number 4. What is Ray Anthony Height's dream project? If you were able to work on any property that either exists or is, from the past that's died away, and bring it back to life, what is your
and why is it
dream
Ace Blade
project?
Bionic 6.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, wow.
Yeah. I mean, Bionic 6, and you know, New Warriors and Marvel, but Bionic 6 is by far my number one property.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, it's just dope. And they were ahead of the
Dang.
curve. It was like a lot of, you know, anime influence stuff. They had some of the
Mhm.
most incredible, you know, kind of depiction of family in that situation, but it was funny. But the animation was by far better than almost anything that was out.
Mhm.
So that's it.
Hey, I love it. That's a. See, most people would say something like a Wolverine or X-Men or, you know, something like that. But I love that answer. I absolutely love that answer.
And Bionic 6 had an underrated theme song.
I'm saying. I hear it right now. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
I'm not gonna perform it for y'all, but yeah, I hear it in my
But you
head
can
right
hear it.
now.
After the show's fine.
I could see. Okay, check this out. I could actually see in my mind's eye the animation, the whole opening theme. Yep,
I
exactly.
love it. I love it. Okay, last question, and I'll get out of your hair, or, you know.
Wow.
It's very little.
I got a couple of strands up here too, so I'm with you. So you got two paths in front of you. One path you can only write Midnight Tiger for the rest of your life, and the other you can only draw Midnight Tiger for the rest of your life. Which path do you take and why?
This is one that's going to actually give me some trouble to answer.
Number 5 is always get you.
Oh, wow. And look,
Get it with number
it's like
five.
35 seconds already. Okay. Draw it.
Draw. Okay.
Draw. And because you didn't say which writers I could get to write it. So I'm going for Christopher Priest.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
He said, "I'll be
You
okay
know-
not writing if Chris Priest
Right.
is doing it."
You know, David Walker, Brandon Thomas, you know.
Wow.
Yeah.
You
Pull out
know,
the big guns.
yeah. But I'm only drawing it.
He said, "I would be okay. I think I'll be all right if we
Yeah.
can get Mr. Priest on it." That's a
Well,
good.
I'll be
gonna
honest.
be all
If I
right.
could pick something, yes. If
Yeah.
if I could pick somebody who I would love to have gotten to write it, who is no longer here, would be Dwayne McDuffie. He would be the
Oh, yeah.
perfect, the
Absolutely.
perfect writer for
Mm.
Midnight Tiger. Honestly,
Rest in peace.
Absolutely.
yeah.
All right.
I re-
Well, that was
I re-
Danny's quick takes, brought to you by
5.
Midnight Tiger from Brandon Thomas,
Yeah, right.
By Brandon Thomas.
Brandon Thomas. Dennis Cowan.
Yeah.
Reggie
Dennis
Flynn.
is doing covers. You know. Yeah, that's the dream.
I love it.
He's like, Ray's like, I just drew the first panel, and everybody
Yep.
else took care of everything else.
Boom. There you go.
Hey, I'll just do a variant cover every now and then, and I'm good to go.
Yep. Damian Scott
love
is first artist. Yep.
Do we get like any type of producer credits when this actually happens? I
Oh
just
yeah,
wanna-
you get some producer credits for the idea,
Okay.
or like a very fluffy thanks.
I'll
you
take
know?
that. I'll take
Yeah.
At
that.
the end of the credits reel, when everything finishes, we get that.
And a full page ad for both your books.
Okay, I'll take that.
Hey, I'll take that.
I'll take that.
There you
I'll
go.
take that.
I'll take that.
You know,
Every
people
time
are
I'll
reading it
take
because Brandon Thomas is writing it and Dennis Collins is cover.
I'll definitely take that.
I
Oh,
will
my
take that for sure.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we have a few more minutes here. Since you actually brought this up in your quick takes answer, I did see where you are a huge fan of New Warriors and Teen Titans and
Yeah.
other teenage books. So I first want to ask you, where did that love of teenage heroes come from?
1,000 years ago, I used to be a teenager, and you know, and I had teenagers. I have two kids, they're 22 and 23. Plugged for my son who's at NBA All-Star Weekend. He's a professional dunker, and he's doing a show there. And he is 5'6", and his vertical is over 50 inches. So
What?
yeah,
What? I'm 5'7". I can barely reach the rim.
Kyron, I'm 5'7" too, right?
I'm 6 foot.
yeah.
I'm not touching. I ain't touched the rim in 2 years.
Hey, you know, it is what it is. I never try to dunk at all. Basketball was never my game. I love watching it though. I love
Yeah.
watching it, and I was good at baseball when I decided to play, but I was a martial arts guy, so
Oh, well, martial arts.
Who's your,
Muay Thai, Taekwondo.
Oh, well, before the pandemic, I was actually going for my black belt in Taekwondo.
Oh,
And
nice.
then pandemic stopped and I gained a bunch of weight and I was like, I can't go back right now.
Let me do something. I haven't set foot in the dojo since I was 20, 21.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been a long time, but I spent a lot of time. So
Yeah,
but yeah.
my son, he's a black belt and he got it 2 years before I was going to get mine. But he's like 6'3" and he can't dunk at all. He can barely jump. I tell him all the time, you got your height from my side of the family, even though I'm short, my rest, like my dad and my brother are tall. And you got the rest of your genes from your mom.
See, so check this out. I've been actually studying up. You do the ancestry.com. I've been digging back in my family and stuff like that, and they do the blood tests and see your genetic markers and all that.
I did that too. I swear, we're just like the same person at this point.
same
So,
person.
so let me tell you this. Let me ask you this. So, do you have the ACT N3 gene?
I have to go back and look. I don't remember if I do or not.
So they're constantly asking my son, like, dude, how the hell are you jumping that high? Like, it's genetics. It's a genetic mutation that is it's called what is it? The sprinter gene. And your quick muscle, the muscle for reflexes, bursts of strength and speed, it has no regulator. So the only drawback to that is that you tire quickly.
Wow.
So, but
that would explain why my son's constantly sleeping.
he's got extra.
But yeah, and it's like it's type 1 and type 2, whatever the gene is. So if you're RR, so it's like bodybuilders have it, but bodybuilders, they have that and they have this other thing, which basically doesn't regulate the size of your muscles either. That's another genetic thing. But they say all elite Olympic athletes have that gene.
Wow.
So this is pretty crazy. I haven't used it in 20 some odd years. So I might as well not have it.
Well, you pass it on to the next generation.
Yeah.
So that's what you're supposed to do.
Let me tell you something. I used it from running away from bullets. And from,
there you go.
Defending myself. I mean, I was pretty good. I was a pretty good fighter, but yeah, it's called nope.
That's right.
If somebody were to take the gene out of me, it would be cobwebs and dust and.
I think a lot of us black people have that nope gene. I mean,
yeah, right.
Peele just created a whole movie about it. So
yeah, exactly.
There you go.
I love it. I love that.
All right. Well, do we have any other questions for our guest here, Danny?
I got everything that I could ever want.
Wow. I'm flattered.
I had one more thing that I just thought of. Because we didn't really touch the Marvel stuff that you've done so far. Because you've been such a great guest, and we talked about so many things. But what book have you worked on in your career that you felt the most pressure doing?
Ooh, probably X-Men Blue.
Okay, that's a good one.
X-Men Blue. And I remember when they tagged me for it, I was working on Superb, which it was grueling, but I loved it. There was things in there, but I absolutely loved it. I worked with people that I enjoy working with, and it was a book that meant something to me. But and I told Joe Illich, who was the editor at the time for Superb, like, hey, Joe, Marvel said, they want me to do this X-Men book. And I was doing a fill-in. And they wanted me to do 5 pages. And before I finished that fill-in, they were like, hey, you want to do, the next issue, or issue was 6 or whatever. And I was like, oh yeah, Superb, that's it. First of all, Superb was one of the best and worst projects I've been on. It's like 95% best, 5% worse. And you're holding the 5% worse in your hand.
Oh,
what? Really?
You know why that is?
Why?
It's when I drew Cosmosis, and the hands that are holding that big boulder, his
Mhm.
thumbs are backwards.
I didn't notice that.
No one does, but I do.
Never
And when
noticed
I
that until you said it.
When I tell artists, because when you're doing it, that's how your mind works. Your mind works forward. So that's what you're expecting, right? But when you actually
Right.
put your hands in that position, where are your thumbs?
Wow. Oh my goodness. I did not notice that.
So it should be a collector's item. Anybody who has that, yeah, it's backwards. And other people have, yeah, it's backwards.
Let's see if we
So
can- hold on, keep holding up. All right.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
yeah. So that being said, that's why it's the worst. And every creator, doesn't matter if you're an artist, writer, whatever, when you do a big mess up, when you really, crap the bed
And it's
on
on the
something.
cover.
Because the cover itself,
It's on the
that's
cover.
why-
That's great.
right. So that's what gives the pass. My favorite cover, though, for the series that I've got to do, which is the reason why it was so good, I got to do interiors and covers, is cover number 2. Cover number 2, I had to redeem myself from cover number 1. So cover number 2 is my favorite of the series.
That's funny because you drew it, and then it had to go to the colors who missed that, and then the editor
Uh-huh.
missed it. So it's like,
And somebody else recreated it.
and then they
And it
missed.
wasn't.
I always love
Yeah.
when stuff like that happens. It's like, how many hands does this touch?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
That's
just let you know the editors are great, but they're human and they mess up too.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
exactly. Because
Absolutely.
it was everybody else. Anytime I pointed out, they had the same reaction as Danny. Like, I never saw that before. And I was like, yeah, I see it every time.
Every time.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's a great cover too. Like here in the little store, the store that we have, I just got some. I have a wall that's indies and that's stuff that people might not know about. And I
Why
love
you
this cover
plugging
so
your store
much.
already, man? We already plugged your
I'm
store.
not plugging. I
Well,
didn't say.
I actually want to do what Danny's doing.
Nah, I'm just messing
Yep.
with it.
I want to do what he's doing. I want to have a little spot and have
Yeah.
promote indie stuff and have my production, whoever's working with me, whatever, in the same building and work producing stuff. Have people come through, really kind of show any POCs, LGBTQ. You want to know how this? You want to get into this? Come to my shop and I will show you the process.
Yeah.
Right. And your first book, you will have space in my shop.
Love it.
That's dope.
Absolutely. And in Compton, right?
Oh, I would love for it to be in Compton, but I would say this: while I don't have mine, Black Star Collectibles
That's
in
right.
both
Yeah.
Lakewood and Carson. I grew up with Fionn Cooper, the other
Mhm.
owner. I was best friends with his brother, so we've known each other for years. They actually own a piece of original Dr. Afro artwork that I donated to the shop.
Wow.
So
And just to self-promote, if you do go to Black Star Collectibles, you can get a copy of my book, Ruby from Planet Oz, there also. So just so you know.
yep,
Yeah.
they're all about indie comics,
Yeah.
POC.
I love it.
So
I was planning on going by there because what happened was I had applied for the
No, you
milestone.
gotta throw an extra hat in there. What had
yeah,
happened?
what had
What
happened was-
had happened is I applied for the milestone initiative, and I actually took this whole week off of work because I was like, I'm gonna get in. I believe I'm gonna get in. I didn't get in, and my plan was to
I'm
go
sorry.
by there and visit. But I just didn't make the cut. So instead, I decided to open up this spot. So there we go.
There you
It
go.
works out.
There you go. So
It works out. It works
no,
out.
This is good.
All
I
right.
love it.
But I
All
would
right,
say
well-
if you get a chance, communicate with them. And that's the other thing we need, which I saw, let's say other shops who are owned by POCs, we still fine.
Mhm.
They talk to each other. I would say
Yeah.
talk to them.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right. Well, this has been fun, Ray. I know you don't sell your own books, but where can we check out, or can other people check out your work?
Indie stuff is only on Comixology, which just, that's a terrible situation right now.
Yeah.
But so I should might as well say Amazon.
Yeah.
So that's it right now. I'm doing, there's some big stuff happening for Midnight Tiger that's supposed to pop end of the year.
Well, we are team spoilers, so if you want to drop anything,
This is the best place to do it.
yeah.
So I'll say, so there's a reboot coming of it. I'm
okay.
finishing up what I did with Action Lab The single issue, the third issue that is a Kickstarter is 2 years behind, but I'm still, trying to get that finished because that's a chapter I want to close completely.
Mhm.
And then we go on to the reboot, I just got the title, and the new title is called Midnight Tiger Evo.
Oh, nice. Okay.
All right.
Love it.
All right. You heard it here first. I'm just saying,
We got some exclusive news. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
All right. And Danny, where can we find your work at?
If you're looking for me or Ace Blade, just at the Ace Blade on all social medias and our website, www.fourthwallpros.com.
Cool.
You got
What
that down.
about
Damn.
We've been doing this for a while.
Kyron made me practice. He said, don't take too long plugging yourself. So I had to practice.
Well, I mean, you plug yourself like half the show, so I figure.
Well, I got to get it in where I can.
Exactly. And if not you, then who?
Then who?
There you
Right.
go.
Right?
All right. There you go.
What about you, Kyron? Where can people find you at?
You can find my work at tauruscomics.com. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Taurus Comics. You can also find past episodes of this podcast at 4talespodcast.com. That is the number 4, TALES podcast.com. And if you haven't already, please go to our YouTube or go to YouTube, search us out and subscribe. We are trying to hit that 100 subscriber mark. So I guess there is a bit of an achievement in a way for getting that. So if you haven't done so, please do that. Next, we are doing a show next week, though, and we are going to have Specs Thompson back on the show. He's going to talk about his book, Legacy of the View. So that's going to be a fun time. Specs is always great to have on. But until next time, you guys, sayonara, goodbye, and please take care of yourselves.
Music provided by my brother, Quix Made It. Find him online in YouTube, Instagram, and SoundCloud.
I want to know what it is Quick is trying to say.